Hello, hello, hello. I was just tidying my office. That means I'm just clearing my coffee table. I'm terrible. I work in my lounge, okay, so I have a coffee table behind where the video camera is. Video camera? Video cameras? Are they still about? Behind where the tablet is, I've got my coffee table, and that's my desk. And then my husband, right at the back there, where you can see that sunshine coming in, that's my back patio doors. And my dining table is there, and that's my husband's office. And that's how it's been now for the last few weeks, however long it's been. It's been ages, hasn't it? So yeah. It's so funny though, because if you know me from class, if you come to my classes before, you'll know how I always talk about my husband. So I've had to try and make sure I don't say anything nasty, because he can hear me. So I've said a few things. And I don't know if anyone watched yesterday, but I caught him while I was going live yesterday morning. I caught him in the food cupboard, eating chocolate basically. And he came in the door and started telling you lot that I was the one eating all the chocolate. What's he like? So let me know that you're here and that you're going to be doing some work with me. We'll go through all the levels, okay? Remember, if you have any questions about anything, if you're not sure of what you should or shouldn't be doing because you've had a back injury or you're returning from pregnancy, anything like that, you can either just put a comment in the comment box or send a private message to Ipswich Fit, and it'll be myself that answers it, okay? Did any of you do the class at 2 o'clock today? We had Bev, who delivered a low impact class for us. So that's something different as well. We're trying to look at more classes and different things that we can offer you. We're always looking at it, okay? We haven't forgotten about you. You are important to us. So yeah. So, and we're actually talking about whether or not to put something on Instagram as well. Now, I was an Instagram virgin until about 10 o'clock this morning. So this will be interesting. So it will be me that's doing it. So I'm a bit of a technophobe. So the first thing is, it will be asking my children how to do it. I've downloaded the app. I've done that. I've got that far. Okay. So I'm just literally going to give it a minute. Please make sure you've got something. I've got a blanket there to lay on. You can have a blanket, a towel, or anything. As long as you're going to be comfortable. I don't want you laying like directly on a really hard floor. Because when you're laying on your side, sometimes that can hurt your rib cage or your hip bone, okay? So it's best to have something soft. I'll put the light on down that end in a minute as well. And a drink. You might want a drink halfway through, okay? And that's absolutely fine. Please just work where you feel comfortable. Rest whenever you need to. So get that drink whenever you need to. I'll teach from base level, which is your level 1. And I'll work upwards, okay? Don't feel any pressure to go to a higher level. If you're not ready, if you're trying a higher level and you're forgetting to hold your core or you're forgetting how to breathe, then just go back down a level, okay? Once you get the hang of some of the exercises, you will automatically know how to breathe through that exercise. You'll automatically engage your core and keep your neutral spine in place. But it's a process, okay? And everything has to go sort of hand in hand with each other. So, okay, I'm just going to turn that light on and then we'll get moving. I should have a sneaky little drink while I'm here. It is just water. I just hate to think, I always, on my way to the sports centres, when I was teaching every day, I would stop at the local shop, hi Nikki, and I would buy a bottle of water. Plastic bottle, end of the day that plastic bottle will go in the bin. So I haven't bought a bottle of water for such a long time now, so I feel like I've done my little bit for the planet there as well. So although we recycle so much, we have a double-sized recycle bin which is overflowing. We have to put recycle bags out as well. It's ridiculous. Okay, that's because my children are gannets and eat all the time. So nice and upright, toes and knees point forwards, shoulders down, relaxed. Finding that neutral spine, you're tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. You're finding the position where your back feels the most comfortable. You've got that natural lordotic curve in place. It's a smudge right in the middle of the screen. Bear with me 2 secs. I think I've got it. Yes, that's better. It looked like there was a big blob on my t-shirt, but it was a smudge. Then I want you to find and engage your core muscles. So begin with your pelvic floor. Now your pelvic floor is the muscle that you'd use to stop mid-flow, okay? A bit like a straw trying to suck up like a little pea, yeah? Not wee pea the vegetable. So imagine your pelvic floor. Draw that pelvic floor up from within as if it's attached to a lift all the way up to floor number 10. You're going to take it down to floor number 5, down to floor number 3, and that's where you leave it. So you know you're drawing it up, but you can maintain it. That's the main thing, okay? Then imagine you've got a belt around your middle with 10 notches on the belt. So you're going to pull it in as tight as you can to notch number 10. You're going to take it out to notch number 5, and then out a little bit more to notch number 3, and that's where you're going to leave it. Again, mild tension around the centre of the body. Now, because you're holding from your core, you're going to breathe from your rib cage. Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. You're going to take a deep breath in, opening up through the rib cage, and release. Take a deep breath in, and release. Relax the arms down. So you're just going to begin by pedaling your feet through one side to the other, raising up and alternating heel. Allow those shoulders to gently rotate in one direction and the other direction. Lovely. Place the feet down, lift all the way up onto the toes and release. And again, all the way up onto the toes and release. One more time. Lift, lengthen all the way and release. Good. So with your left leg, I want you to step forward, lengthen the back leg, push yourself forwards and down. Only as far as you can comfortably go. You're lengthening your back leg, rebuilding that posture when you come back to the middle. And you're going to take one more on each leg for me, please. Lengthen the back leg. Any problems, just make it smaller, okay? And then into the middle and step out to the left. Arm comes up and over. You're reaching, you're lengthening through your waist, right through the side of the body. My ankle's cracking quite a lot, you can hear that. Good. One more here, into the centre, hips face forwards, bring one arm forwards and one arm backwards. And then you're just going to start to follow the arm as it comes behind you. Looking over the shoulder. I don't want you moving your hips. You're just allowing the arms to move. And then looking over that shoulder, so you're mobilising through your waist and through your spine. Spinal rotation. Last one to each side. Come back to the middle, relax the arms. Just take the left foot forward. A little bit of balance. Circle the leg round. Lift the knee up. Toe comes forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up, hold it here, ankle rotates in one direction and then the other direction, and then place that foot down. Other leg comes forward, point the toe, circle the leg round, mobilise the hip, lift it up and balance. Toe comes forward, circle it round, lift it up and balance. Ankle goes one way and the other. Lovely. Place the foot down. So we're going to make our way down to the floor, okay? Once we're down on the floor, that's where we stay. So you're going to breathe in, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees. Allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, gently begin to roll back up through the spine. Rebuild your back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through the back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang and relax like wet spaghetti. Then when you're ready, gently begin to roll back up, rebuild your spine, relax the shoulders down. So this time, at our lowest point, we're going to make our way down to the floor, okay? So chin in, gently roll down. At your lowest point, you're coming down, and we're coming onto our hands and knees, okay? Make sure that your thighs, there's a gap, yeah? So your knees are under your hips, gap between the legs, that's going to help you balance. So from here, back is nice and flat, core muscles are zipped up, breathe in. As you breathe out, push one leg all the way back without moving any other part of your body. Breathe in and bring it back in. Other leg, breathe out, push it away. Breathe in and bring it back in. Now you're drawing up through the middle of the body, so as the leg pushes away, you should feel a lengthening right through the middle of the body. And then you're dragging it back in, you're using your core, your tummy, to drag that leg back in. And then if you want the next level, fully extend and then raise, no higher than the bottom. Then breathe in, touch it down and draw it back in. So you can raise the leg if you want to, level 2, but you don't have to. Next level, slide the opposite arm out along the floor and then slide it back in at the same time as the leg. And then your final option, you fully extend the arm and the leg, then they raise, breathe in to touch down and draw it back in. Opposite arm to leg. I've seen a couple of people try the same arm and leg a couple of times. That was quite funny. They did end up in a heap on the floor. Breathe out as you push away. Breathe in as you lower and return. So that leg pushes as far back as you can without tilting the hips, with or without the arm movement. Remember, if you want level 1, you don't even have to lift the leg. Just push it away and pull it back in. So you're strengthening through the middle of the body, through your core. And I'd like you, please, this is called swimming. I would like you, please, to complete one more on each side. Remember to work with your breathing, okay? So deep, full breaths means you're going to have a slow, controlled movement. And once you've done those 2, you're going to be coming down, forearms and elbows, looking down between your wrists, okay? And then just draw up the pelvis into leg pull. If you want to go further, level 2, bring your knees up and hold. So if you do this in a normal conventional fitness class, you will know it as the plank, okay? But Joseph Pilates, when he invented this, he called it the leg pull, and it's just been developed on from there, okay? So you call it or whatever you feel you need to, but in Pilates we call it a leg pull, drawing up through the core. Now, if you've already got your knees up and you want to go a bit further, just take one arm out to the side, but don't tilt your hips. Everything else stays in place. So all you're doing is moving one point of contact out, and then your balance has to realign, and then you find that neutral again. If you've got one arm out, bring it in and change sides. If you've got your knees down, you can give it a go, okay? The important thing is not to tilt the hips. Everything stays in place. You're going to do 2 more breaths, then you're going to bring that arm in, and then you're going to carefully lower all the way down onto your front. We're going to be coming into our double leg kick. Hands are going to come, sorry, I've got an itchy leg. Hands are going to come into the small of your back. Your legs are going to squeeze together. You're going to pull your belly button up. So imagine you've got an ice cube underneath your belly button, okay? Once you understand what you're doing, I want you to keep your forehead down, okay? You're going to breathe in, legs together. Lift the legs up. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Heels towards the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So your legs are extending, but they're not lowering back down. They start in that raised position. Forehead down, guys. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Good. If you need to, you can always do one leg at a time. If that's still uncomfortable, if you've got a lower back injury, for example, then you can always do a mobility exercise for your back instead, which is your swan dive, breathing out as you lift and in as you lower. Okay, I know a couple of my regulars struggle with the double leg kick because of injury, so the swan dive is a nice alternative if you need it. Try and keep those legs together. You're working up the back of the thigh, okay, and through your bottom. And in your double leg kick, please complete 2 more repetitions. 1 with each leg if you're doing one leg at a time. And once you've completed those, lengthen the legs and gently lower them all the way down. You're going to release the arms, you're going to come back to the leg pull. Forearms and elbows down, knees down, level 1, knees up, level 2. Take the hand out, level 3. Hold and breathe. Strengthen right through the middle of the body. So it should feel like I've grabbed hold of your belly button and I'm pulling it up towards the ceiling, strengthening right through the centre of the body, directly through the core. If you've got one arm out, change arms. Pull up through the belly button, tighten the middle of the body. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths. And once you've completed those 2, you can gently release. I'm going to ask you, please, from there, to come up onto your knees. Okay? So we're going to come into something called a kneeling side kick. It's a more advanced exercise, but there are easy levels, okay? First thing, take your left foot out to the side. Your toes need to be in line with your right knee. And then your right hand comes down, and your hand is also in line with that knee. Now, this other arm, this left arm, fingertips to the temple. You've opened the chest, you haven't got it rolled to the floor, and you hold here. Head and neck in line with the spine. Don't drop the head, don't crank the neck. Straight line from the toes, or diagonal line from the toes, all the way up to the underarm. Position 1, level 1. Level 2, bring that leg up. Level 3, we're going to move the leg. Breathe in, breathe out to kick, breathe in to return. Now everything else remains nice and still. We're just allowing that leg to come forwards and then back to where it started. Remember, you don't have to raise it. You can have it lifted but still. If you are moving it, well done. We're also thinking about balance and coordination as well as the actual physical. The waist is working, the hip is working, the shoulders straight from the upper body. I'm going to ask you, keeping that leg as straight as you can for 2 more breaths at the level you have chosen. Once you've completed your 2, if the leg is lifted, lower it down and then slide that leg back in. When you're ready, we'll come straight onto the other side. Point the toe, right leg out, knee, toes all in line with each other. Left hand comes down, right fingers come to the temple. Stay here, level 1. You're lengthening through the waist, the obliques are working already. You haven't even done anything, you're just holding it still. Level 2, bring the leg up. Point the toes away. Breathe in. As you breathe out, kick. As you breathe in, return. That leg is just coming back in line with the body where it started. Don't take it behind because your body will want to tip. Make sure this supporting arm is wrist and elbows under the shoulder, okay? Head and neck in line with the spine. Remember, you can keep the foot down. You can have it raised and still. Or add this kick. Breathe out to kick. Breathe in to return. Work down the side of the leg, through the obliques, around this supporting shoulder, core and the lumbar spine, because they're still in place, aren't they? Yes, Shelley. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. Once you've done those 2, if your leg is raised, lower and release that leg under. Lovely. From here, I'd like to come all the way down onto one side, either side, okay? I want you to fully extend your arm and rest your head down on the arm. I want you to fully extend the legs so your toes are pulled away. This arm goes in front of you for balance, okay? Now, legs together. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift those legs up. Breathe in, they lower, but they don't touch the floor. Breathe out, they come up. Breathe in, they release. So those legs are stuck together. They are lifting and lowering as one unit. If you've got good balance and you want to work a little bit more, take the supporting arm away. Maybe you can take it all the way over. Maybe lifting is too much. So you can just hold them in place without the lift and lower. Just keep them still. Breathing out as you lift, in as you release. Lengthen and strengthen through the side of the body, through the waist. Don't allow yourself to roll forwards or backwards. Core in place. Breathe deep, full breaths. And I'm going to ask you, please, for one more side raise. Then allow those legs to lower. Bring those knees in, give the hip a little rub if you need to. And then you're going to bring yourself to sit. So we're going to do an exercise called seated scissor, okay? You're going to have your legs bent. And you're going to keep your legs bent. Yes, Shelley, bent legs. Now, if you need to, you can always have your hands there for a bit of support, okay? Otherwise, we're taking the hands away. We're going to breathe in, tilt the pelvis under, so we're tucking the tailbone under, and we're bringing one leg up. That leg is bent at a right angle. Breathe in lower, and the other leg comes up. Breathe in to lower, breathe out as that leg comes up. So those legs are swapping places. Easier, that leg comes down and then the other leg comes up. So slightly easier, you're just moving one leg at a time. Slightly harder, they switch in the middle, that scissor motion. Remember, if you need your hands there for a bit of support, breathe out to lower, breathe in. Just allow your breathing to flow. But please keep that leg bent, okay? If your leg isn't at a right angle, you're doing a completely different exercise. You're not going to be working as effectively. Core muscles in place, tailbone tucked under. I'm going to ask you, please, for 3 more breaths. Once you've done your 3, those feet come down. Lovely. And we're going to be bringing ourselves down onto our backs. Now, as you come down on your back, I I want you to find your neutral spine again. I want you to make sure those core muscles are engaged. Feet and knees hips distance apart. Shoulders down and relaxed. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bring one leg up into a right angled position. The knee above the hip, the ankle in line with the knee, your shin, the front of your lower leg, facing the ceiling. Hold this position. Deep, full breaths. If you want to go further, you can bring the other leg up. You may just need to gently imprint and find neutral. If you want to go further, bring up the upper body, chin off the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chin is off the chest, core muscles are zipped up and pulled in place. Strengthen through the middle of the body, through the core. Breathe out, push the hands down, breathe in to hold. So you've either got one or both legs raised, with or without the pulse. If you only have one leg raised, we're going to lower that leg and bring the other leg up in its place. If you've got both legs raised, carry on. Please do feel free to rest if you need to. If you've got both legs lifted, make sure you only take one foot down at a time. If you take both legs at the same time, you're going to jerk your lower back, so be careful. Strengthen from the core, the lumbar spine. You can add the pulse with just the one leg up, or go for both legs. Remember, you can try a higher level. You can always bring it back down. Chin is off the chest, strengthen right through the middle of the body. The 100. Make sure you're not pulling on the body, just gently pushing those hands down. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. If you've got the upper body raised, you're going to lower it down. If you've got both legs raised, 1 foot at a time down, and with both, all of us end up with both feet down on the floor. Okay, so next exercise is a bit more mobility for the upper body, around the shoulders. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, bring your arms up. Now your arms are lengthened, your fingers are being pulled to the ceiling. This is the windmill. Feet and knees hips distance apart, core muscles in place. Breathe in. Breathe out. One arm comes down by your side, while the other arm goes all the way over. Keeping them straight, one arm over, one arm down. They meet in the middle, and then they go again. Now, if you want to work a little bit more, you can have one leg raised at the same time. A little bit more, you can have both legs raised. Breathe out as you lower the arms. Breathe in as you bring them in. If you want to go even further, you can have those legs out at 45 degrees. Make sure that the tummy isn't doming outwards. If you've got just one leg lifted, swap the leg over for me. Mobilise around the shoulders. Breathe out as it goes over. Breathe in as it returns. Strengthen through the core. One leg, both legs, or no legs raised. Your choice. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 3 more breaths. Once you've completed those 3, 1 foot at a time comes back down, and we release the arms back down. From here, I want you to bring your legs together, and then we're going to be bringing the arms out to the sides. So we're going to come into trunk rotation. Your knees are going to go one way, your head is going to go the other. Breathe in. As you breathe out, knees one way, look Oh, cracked my back. Knees go one way, head goes the other. Breathe in, come to the center. Breathe out, go the other way. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, change sides. So it doesn't matter if your knees are reaching the floor or not, okay? You mustn't lift your shoulders up off the floor. Shoulder blades stay down. Now if you do want to go further, you can have your legs raised 45 at 90, get my words out, at right angles behind the knees. Don't drop the heels. They've got to stay right angles. And then those legs will lower only as far as comfortable without lifting your shoulders, looking away from those knees. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. Breathe out, they lower down. Breathe in, they come back in. Try not to allow those legs to lengthen or those heels to drop. Right angles. Or keep the legs down. Legs are stuck together. Trunk rotation. And I'm going to ask you for one more to each side, please. And once you've completed those two, you can relax those legs and give yourself a nice long body stretch. When you're ready, you're going to turn onto your other side. And you're lengthening out into a nice straight line. Head resting down on the arm. Hand there for your balance. Point the toes, point the fingers. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise those legs. Breathe in, they lower an inch from the floor. Breathe out, they come back up. Breathe in, they lower an inch from the floor. Breathe out, they come back up. So as those legs lift and lower, the rest of the body remains still. Hand is there, take it away. Maybe you can bring it all the way over. Core muscles zipped up. Any problems, you can just keep the legs lifted, held and still. Core muscles zipped up, strengthen right through the center of the body. And in your side raise, I'm going to ask you please for one more repetition. Deep, full breaths. Then you can allow those legs to carefully lower all the way down. Bring those knees in. Give the hip a little rub if you need to. And then you can just fall asleep. Wouldn't that be lovely? I'll wake you up at tea time. Bring yourself round into a box position. So we're back to the position where we started with the swimming, yes? Nice flat back, core muscles in place. You're going to push yourself back into a crouched position. We're going to be coming to stand. If you need to hold on to anything, please move towards that, okay? Breathe in, chin to the chest. Place the feet down, breathe out. We're gradually rolling up through the back, rebuilding your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to the top, and relax those shoulders down. We're resetting the posture. We're making sure our core muscles are in place, our neutral spine, comfortable back is still in place. Everything is where it should be. We're lifting up on the toes. Can you still balance? And release. Good. Lift up onto the toes. Balance. And release. Good. One more time. Lift up onto those toes. Hold it here. Close your eyes. Are you still balanced? I'm just showing off by scratching my nose at the same time. And just release. Well done, guys. So there's your Pilates for today. Very well done. Tomorrow we have got, let me get my timetable. It should all be on our Facebook page now. We've actually put a pinned post with all your timetable on anyway. But tomorrow will be 10 o'clock with your combat hit. Nikki, you'll like that one. And you've got legs, bums and tums at 4 o'clock, okay? Won't need any equipment for the first class apart from a drink of water and maybe a mat. And for legs, bums and tums, optional use of hand weights. My shoulder's really tight now. I'll give that a little rub later. So well done for today, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.